from the McCormick Gymnasium in Fargo, North Dakota. Good evening, everybody. I'm Jed Thomas alongside my partner Lucas Johnson as we get set for North Dakota High School girls volleyball action as the Shanley Deacons prepare to take on the Fargo Davies Eagles. Well, folks, it doesn't get much better than this. Two crosstown rivals going at it. Lucas, tell us, what should we expect tonight?
Well, Jed, Shanley Deacons have not won a game at home in the past 2 games. Really look for them to come out with some fire and looking for a win tonight. Davies always plays hard against the Deacons. What a game to have tonight.
Should be a fun one indeed. For now, we're going to turn it over to the PA announcer, but stay tuned, folks. Great game in store.
Good evening and welcome to McCormick Gymnasium on the campus of Shanley High School for tonight's Eastern Dakota Conference volleyball matchup featuring the visitors on the scoreboard, the Fargo Davies Eagles, and our home team, Shanley Deacons. Shanley High School would like to remind all fans that we are a tobacco-free campus, so we ask that you refrain from smoking on the school grounds during your visit this evening. The concession stand and restrooms here at Shanley High School are located in the Commons area. At this time, we ask that you please rise, remove all headwears. Father Charles LaCroix will lead us in prayer.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Father of all that is good and all that is holy, in you we live and move and have our being. And each day you show us a Father's love, and we thank you for the love with which you have gathered us together here tonight for this contest. Be with us all throughout the evening. Watch over us, bless us. Keep the players free from injury and harm. Allow them to play to the best of their ability and reward them for their efforts here tonight. May all that happens here tonight give you great honor, glory, and praise. We pray all this in your Son Jesus by the power of the Holy Spirit, your God forever and ever. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Please remain standing and remove all headwear as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. At this time, I'd like to draw your attention to the sports table as Shanley's senior volleyball player Brooklyn Dew will read the ABC Sportsmanship Creed.
Stay tuned, folks. High school volleyball action is coming your way after this commercial break.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Butler Machinery Company, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Form Communications, Luther Family Buick GMC, Master Construction, Moore Engineering, Netrix IT, Northern Improvement Company, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons, Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Shields All Sports in Fargo, and TCI Insurance.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to North Dakota High School volleyball action. We have a great game in store here tonight between two bitter rivals. I'm Jed Thomas, of course, joined by Lucas Johnson. And Lucas, let's get right to it. Who are some key players to watch tonight on both sides of the net?
You know, Jed, on Davies' side, really looking up front, you have Kylie Bergentine, 6 foot up on that. It's key to have a tall player up there. Big impact, along with Elise Schumacher, only 5'7", but she really knows how to work up front. Just a wall up front for Davies. Also looking for McKenna Mickelson, the libero, for a good defensive player there for Davies. On the Shanley side, looking up front again with Kylie Conwisher and Emily Dietz, both killers up on the net. Should be a good net battle tonight.
These are just two really familiar teams. They know each other real well. Their strengths are very similar. Of course, the Deacons, their front court, one of the best in the state, you know, between Kylie Conwisher and Emily Dietz. You know, it should just be a really fun battle up front. Of course, it's worth mentioning the Deacons are without senior captain Hannah Mans, who is out with an injury and has been for a little while. That's a really big loss for the Deacons, as she's just not only a great player, but also a huge leader in the locker room.
Absolutely, Jed. Anytime a team suffers a loss like that, it tends to have a lot of impact on the team, but it's key for them to overcome and play a good game here tonight.
Now, the last game we covered of the Deacons was against Red River in a 5-set thriller. They looked real good through a lot of that game, but ultimately fell short to a very strong Red River team. If you're Shanley, what do you have to do here tonight to try to pull out a win on your home court for the first time this year?
Well, Jed, last time we saw that they were struggling with their blocks. You know, they'd get up, make contact with the ball, but oftentimes it was directed out of bounds. Lost a lot of points that way. Maybe look for a little more net presence, a little more net control, get some of those points back. I think that'll be key here tonight.
So the Deacons will be looking to remain disciplined and play their game. You know, as we said, a really strong team. They made it to the state championship game last year, return a lot of experience. They're just having a little trouble getting it going at home of all places. They are, of course, strong coming in tonight with a 9-3 record, so it should be interesting. Always a fun battle between Davies and Shanley. The teams separated by just about a half mile.
It's always good, too, no matter what sporting event you're at, Jed, whether it be a football scrimmage, which we covered earlier in the year, or a volleyball game or a soccer game. Great turnouts and just a great atmosphere.
All right, we're just about ready to get things underway. Referees just confirming the starting lineups for both these teams. You'll see a lot of those key names out there we mentioned. One we did not, who is out there, is Julia Vetter. The setter for the Deacons had a real nice game last go of it. Look for her to have a big impact. All right, ready to get underway now. It's Langley back there to serve, and we're underway. A low serve goes right off of Dietz and out of bounds as Dew couldn't get there in time. An ace to start things off for the Eagles.
That's usually a good start there for any team, Jed. Let's see if they can build off of it.
Langley back to serve again now with a 1-0 lead. A low serve once again, taken by Dietz. The set from Vetter, the spike from Roberts, and the Deacons get the kill.
There we go again. You know, Katie Roberts, another net presence up there. Deacons with a very strong up front for them, and Katie with that killer spike as shown in the last play.
All right, Roberts now to serve, and that ball deep back into the Davies court. Opportunity to get the kill. It hits the net, fumbled, and then is sent back over by the Deacons. Received, set by Mickelson, and now the spike from Langley right in between two Deacon players. Big gap taken advantage of by the Davies Eagles.
Nice job by the Eagles there, setting it up and finding a hole in that Deacon defense, being able to walk away with the point.
It's Anderson back to serve now. Anderson's ball straight back to Dew. The set from Vetter. Dietz gives it the push. Anderson keeps it in play. Langley sets the spike from Schumacher. She's blocked, but it's out of bounds.
There again, Jed, struggling with that out of bounds. If they can tighten that up, get that back in bounds, I think you're looking at a real good game for them.
Anderson again to serve, low one, back to Ehrholz, and it was mishandled. A miscommunication there by the Deacon team, and no one was there to get that ball.
Anytime a team has miscommunications, it's tough. Again, you gotta tighten up those mistakes. You just can't have those.
4-1 lead now for the visitors as Anderson's ball is met by Ehrholz. And now Dietz will try to spike. Her ball, though, is handled quite well by Anderson and then kept in by Schumacher. What a play!
Wow.
Now on the spike, it's Conwisher. It's still up, and it finally falls into the back corner. A fantastic save from Elise Schumacher is ultimately to no avail as Kylie Conwisher was able to put that point away. Michaela O'Leary back to serve. O'Leary's serve back to Mickelson, set by Langley. Here comes Schumacher on the spike. And they will give it to the Eagles, a close one right on the line.
Checking in for the Eagles, number 8, Keely Terry. Serving will be number 12, Kylie
Bergentine back to serve. It's a short one. Ehrholz able to get there in time. Vetter keeps it up, and then Roberts gives it the one-hand push. Quick set by Langley, but it's mishandled by the Eagles, and the Deacons come away with the points.
Jed, it looked like Sierra Berg might have gotten a tip and directed that one away from the front, and that kind of caused some confusion for the Eagles.
Shanley with the opportunity to serve now. It's Vetter to take it. Vetter's ball goes deep back. It's taken by Anderson. Put up by Langley, and now Anderson's going to spike it over, and she puts it in there perfectly, right where it had to be.
The Eagles really working the back half of this court, finding the holes in that Deacon defense. Hopefully those Deacons can tighten that up and maybe try and force them to change their plan a little bit, work to their strengths.
Avery Byer back to serve. Long ball from Byer, taken by Ehrholz, set by Vetter, and now it's Dew on the spike. A great save from Mickelson, but it goes into the stands. Point Shanley.
Checking in for the Deacons.
Noisen checks in for the Deacons as Dietz goes to the bench. 6-4 lead for Davies. Long serve taken by Mickelson, set by Langley, and then on the spike it was Byer. It's met by Dew, the set from Vetter, and then Noisen sends it over. It's low and plays perfectly. Noisen barely put anything behind it, and that's exactly what she had to do as it dropped right in front of Byer. Noisen serving again. Mickelson is there. It was a nice dig, but nobody else was there. The ball was just too low. Mickelson couldn't quite get enough height behind it.
Nicely done there by Maddie Noisen, able to keep that one just short enough to kind of cause some confusion.
Noisen still serving. It's Anderson who took it. Langley set. Schumacher spike. It was blocked, but it stayed on the Deacon side and just fell to the ground.
Point Eagles back into the lineup. Number 5, Madison Langley.
Eagles are back in the lead now.
Elise Schumacher.
Shanley had tied things up, but now Schumacher is back to serve. High serve from Schumacher. The set from Vetter. Berg with a little tap. Eagles respond. They're able to get to it, and now Byer pushes it over. Dew receives. Vetter sets, and it's Berg on the spike. Great save from Schumacher. Kept up and then sent over by Langley. Oh, Ehrholz kept it up, but the Deacons could not put the ball back on the Davies side. It's an 8-6 lead for the visitors.
Maybe a little confusion there by Taylor Ehrholz whether or not that ball was going to be out. Couldn't pull away it in time. Point Eagles.
Schumacher serving again. Noisen is there. Vetter sets. Now Roberts spikes. Another great kill from Roberts. She's been putting a lot of zip behind those balls today.
And quickly, Kylie Conwisher back in. Serving will be Taylor Ehrholz.
Taylor Ehrholz back to serve. Low one. Taken by Byer, set by Langley, and then Terry right there, but a great dig by Noisen. Vetter puts it up, Roberts pushes, still in the air though for the Eagles. It bounces off the vent. And it looked like 4 hits, maybe not though. Vetter sets, and then the spike from Conwisher goes out of bounds.
We can kill out of bounds. Point Eagles.
Eagles, fantastic job responding. They looked like they were in a lot of trouble there, but were able to get that ball back onto the Deacons side despite struggles with the vent up in the up on the ceiling.
You know, it hit that vent jet, kind of came right down to the front row. Maybe a little luck involved, but never hurt anyone.
Good point for the Eagles. Deacons looking to respond. A pile of Eagles go for that ball. They still keep it up, though. Short ball met by Roberts, but then Conwisher couldn't get there. It is 10-7 in favor of Davies. A strong start so far for the Eagles. Mickelson continues to serve. Mickelson with a low one, back to Roberts, handled awkwardly, but then set by Vetter. Noyson sends it over, Schumacher is there, Langley sets it up, and now Byer spikes. Too much on it, though, it goes out of bounds. 2-point deficit for the Deacons. Dew's serve. Taken by Schumacher, set, and then the spike met at the line. It's blocked, but the Eagles continue to respond, and a great push from Bergentine. Wasn't even a push, it was just a tap at the line. A great little play there for the Eagles.
Serving, number 11, Kenzie Langley.
Kenzie Langley serving now. Ball back to Dew. Vetter gets there in time, a great effort, and then Roberts, a tremendous job getting the ball over. Eagles in a bit of confusion. Mickelson able to get it over, though. Erholtz receives, Vetter sets, Conwisher spikes. Mickelson is there. The set from Langley, and then here come the Eagles. Erholtz takes it for the Deacons. Vetter sets, Roberts spikes it, still in the air. A tremendous point from both sides. Schumacher puts it over, Roberts, and now Conwisher taps it. Mickelson receives, Langley sets a tap, taken by Roberts. Vetter sets it up, Roberts spikes, she's denied, it's out of bounds! Wow!
What a point!
What fantastic volleyball from both sides there, but the Eagles outlast the Deacons on that point. Langley serving. Low ball taken by Noyson, Vetter sets it up, and now Roberts spikes it over. Right there is Langley, and then it's Langley on the set. It's sent over and out of bounds off the Deacons, right off the hands of Dew.
Timeout taken, Shanley.
Deacons forced to take a timeout. They're in a bit of trouble, down 13-8. And Lucas, tell us, what does Shanley have to do to try to get back into this one, finding themselves 5 points in the hole?
You know, Jed, it kind of looks like they're struggling with their sets. After the serve, that dig needs to be just a little higher and softer in order to get a nice set so that you get it to your frontman, Conwisher and Katie Roberts. Take a look at the replay here.
Just some plays from this game so far. It's been a good one as expected, but right now Davies just seems to be less mistake prone than Shanley. And you have to wonder if some of those errors in the backcourt stem from the absence of Hannah Mans.
It's tough, like we said, when you lose a player with the caliber of Hannah Mans. Shanley, I think, just needs to calm down, start playing their game. They know that they're strong up front. Julia Vetter can sure set up some good balls. And we know that Katie Roberts sure has the power behind her spikes. I think it's just calm down, tighten up some of those mistakes. They'll be just fine.
Deacons looking to use that timeout to their advantage now as that serve is taken by Noyson, set by Vetter, the spike from Roberts, and the Deacons try to begin the comeback, down 13-9 now.
That's always good for a team coming out of that timeout huddle, be able to win that first point.
Deacons serving now, it's Katie Roberts. Roberts' ball, a shorter one, taken by Salekwa, set up by Langley. Schumacher spikes it over. Roberts receives, Vetter sets, Conwisher spikes, a great save from Schumacher. Conwisher again, this time she's got him. Kylie Conwisher, a nice game so far for her, but what else do you expect? She is just such a huge player for the Deacons. Roberts serving again. Ball taken by Mickelson, set by Langley, and then the spike from Langley. Taken by Vetter, a great save from Conwisher onto the Davies side. Langley sets, Langley spikes, but it's out of bounds.
Still out of bounds, point Deacons.
Davies wanting to say it was tipped at the net, but they're not going to give it to him. Point Deacons.
13-11 now. Roberts still serves. Schumacher receives. Langley sets. Salekwa just taps it over, but Dew keeps it going. They're gonna give that point over to the Eagles, though, and they'll say
I think it was point Deacons.
All right. A bit of confusion,
but
the Deacons come away with the point.
I think it hit the antenna, Jed. That's why they gave it to the Deacons.
Well, the Deacons will take it now, down only one. A quick tap at the line, and they give the point to Shanley. A lift on the Eagles. So 2 quick errors for Davies, and right now they're starting to look like the ones who need to settle down a bit here. Uncharacteristic from them. Roberts' serve taken by Schumacher, set by Langley, and Langley on the spike goes right past Vetter. Wow. Great job by Madison Langley there to send it right across the court. It's now 14-13, and in case you haven't noticed, there are 2 Langleys on the court tonight. We've got Madison Langley at the outside hitter and Kenzie Langley as the setter, so you're going to be hearing a lot of Langley combinations. Anderson's serve taken by Erholtz, set by Vetter, push from Dietz, received by Langley. Mickelson sets it up, Salekwa on the spike. Dew gets there, but she couldn't keep it up.
Maybe a little miscommunication there between Julia Vetter and Brooklyn Dew. Not sure who was going to get that. Julia looked to be in position, but thought that Brooklyn was going to get that. Little miscommunication.
Anderson's serve, a low one, taken by Erholtz. The set from Vetter, Dietz on the spike, power behind it, and it splits the defenders.
Point Deacons. Checking in for the Deacons, Sarah Berg and Michaela O'Leary.
Sierra Berg and Michaela O'Leary come in now for the Deacons. O'Leary's serve, a short one. Schumacher is there. The set from Langley, and Schumacher going for the kill. It was off the hands of the Deacons and out of bounds. Once again, Shanley able to get their hands on the ball, but they just can't keep it under control.
Serving will be number 12, Kylie Bergantine.
Bergantine back to serve. Long ball from Bergantine. Roberts is there. Vetter sets, and Dew, a tremendous job getting it over to the Eagles' side. Davies looking to respond. Schumacher on the spike. Erholtz is there. Vetter sets. Berg spikes, but is blocked.
By Terry. Point.
Keely Terry able to get the block. It was a great effort from Brooklyn Dew. I don't know how that ball found its way over to the Eagles' side. I thought she was going to pop it straight up. Bergantine serving again, keeps it short. Oh, what tremendous awareness from Kylie Bergantine. She sees the hole in the Deacon defense and just puts the serve right there. It is now 18-14. Eagles have widened this lead once again. Bergantine with a short serve. This time it doesn't pay off and it hits the net.
That's what you risk, Jed, when you hit those low serves or the short ones. Risk hitting that net. It's a big risk reward there, but that time not paying off.
Vetter serving. Ball goes straight back to Anderson, set by Langley, and it's on the kill, Salekwa. Dietz sends it over. It's kept up by Anderson, a tremendous effort. Anderson on the spike. Erholtz is there. Vetter sets it up, and here comes Berg. She sends it over, but Mickelson is right there for the Eagles. The set from Langley, the push from Schumacher. There is Dew, the set from Vetter. Dew on the spike, and the Deacons get the point. Brooklyn Dew on the kill.
Still serving.
Julia Vetter will continue to serve. 2-point hole for the Deacons as Vetter's serve is taken by Anderson. Set from Langley, and now just a tap is taken by Vetter. Berg sets it up, Dew on the spike. Langley is there, it goes off the vent! And earlier on, that ball went off the vent and kind of helped the Eagles. This time, though, it's deflected into a bad spot for them. Julia Vetter still serving. Down 1 point are the Deacons. Langley sets it up. A quick ball onto the Deacons side. Dew couldn't keep it going. Terry was right there to make the play.
Checking back in for the Eagles, number 3, Avery Byer.
Avery Byer comes back in for the Eagles, and she will serve as they hold a 19-17 lead in game number 1. Byers' serve is a low one, but a good one back to Roberts. Vetter sets, Dietz spikes. Eagles didn't even have a chance at that one. Emily Dietz, when she gets going, she can really do some damage.
That's that whole front line there, Jed. Every one of them can throw that ball down.
Neusen back to serve. It's a low one. Anderson with a great dig. Langley keeps it up. Byers spikes it. Neusen is there. Vetter couldn't get there in time.
Good by Byers, point. Eagles.
20-18 now.
For the Eagles, number 5, Madison Langley. Serving will be number 18, Elise Schumacher.
Elise Schumacher to serve. Short serve. Roberts takes it. Vetter sets it up, and Dew tries to kill, but it's blocked.
Blocked by Langley.
Langley on the block there for the Eagles.
Schumacher still serving.
And the Deacons will take a timeout, down 21-18 late in game number 1. Well, the Deacons have come back here. They're playing better than they were earlier. You can see some replays here, a look at part of this comeback. But right now, the Deacons have let some of it slide as they find themselves down by 3. So, Lucas, what does Shanley have to do to try to come back here and get to 25 before Davies can?
You know, Jed, we've seen glimpses of it when they're able to get a clean set and a nice spike. It's pure Shanley volleyball there. They're struggling again with returning some of those serves, getting their digs the way they want them. A couple miscommunication errors. You got to tighten those up, and I think if they do that, it'll be good.
Deacons, as you said, just kind of need to tighten things up. They're looking good, but you know, they looked good last week against Red River, and sometimes good just doesn't cut it when you're playing a team like Davies or Red River. We definitely know, though, that Shanley has all the potential to take care of business here. It's just about putting the pieces together.
That's right.
So after that timeout, we'll see if they can. Right now, it's Schumacher serving for the Eagles. Erholtz receives, Vetter sets, Berg spikes, and a good start for Shanley coming out of the break.
Point Deacons.
21-19 now. Erholtz back to serve.
Taylor Erholtz will serve.
Erholtz serve. Low one, taken by Byers, set from Langley. Langley, and that ball's out of bounds. They will call it that. Just a little too much as she tried to go across the court.
She saw the hole over there, just gave it a little too much. Good recognition by, I think, Katie Roberts to let that one go.
Erholtz serve had to be taken by Schumacher, short, and then the Eagles can't get it up in the air to try to put it onto the Shanley side. Deacons have tied things up. And now the Eagles take a timeout, their first of the game, so Shanley gets things tied up in a really quick fashion.
Some more replays of nice plays here by both teams. I think, Jed, it's important that Shanley now stays with the role they've kind of gotten on and ride momentum to the rest of this game. Looking good so far. Taylor Erholtz with a couple nice serves, changing up the distance at which she serves them at. Deacons kind of looking, Davies looking to kind of calm down and start playing their game that they've been playing for the previous part of this match. I think it's important both teams to kind of stick to their game plan and play their game.
Eagles now finding themselves in a situation they haven't been in much in this first game. You know, they've kept the lead for a really large portion. Even having the score tied is a really big thing for the Deacons right now for their confidence.
Taylor Erholtz serving.
Erholtz now will continue to serve. We're all tied up. Shorter ball from Erholtz, and it goes into the net. Real tough break there for the Deacons. Not what you want to do coming out of that timeout.
And there again, Jed, it's the risk you take when you hit those short or low balls. That time not working out.
Mickelson back to serve for Davies. Mickelson, a nice ball back to Roberts. Vetter sets it up, and now Erholtz is going to push it. Received by Byers, set by Langley, and now Langley on the spike. It's just a tap, but Roberts is there. Vetter sets it up, Roberts on the spike. A great ball from Katie Roberts, and we are tied once again.
That's exactly what the Deacons needed there, Jed. Get the momentum back away from the Eagles and back into their court and try and get to 25 before Davies.
That is the goal, and we're all tied up. Dew on the serve, Langley sets Byers, spikes, Noyson couldn't get there. 23-22 for the visitors.
I think we might have ourselves another barn burner here, Jed.
Well, it's only game number 1, but yes, it is a great one so far. Langley back to serve. Short serve from Langley, Noyson is there. Vetter sets in a quick push from Conwisher. Salekwa was there, however. Langley now with a tap. Dew is right there. Vetter sets it up. Here comes Roberts on the spike, but it's out of bounds. A rare mistake from Katie Roberts here in this first game. And now it is game point for the Eagles. Langley's serve, a low one. Noyson takes it. Vetter sets it up. Roberts on the spike. It's blocked off the head of Conwisher. Ehrholtz sends it back over. Mickelson receives. Langley sets. And it's just a push from Schumacher. Ehrholtz back there. Vetter sets it up. Conwisher spikes. Schumacher is there once again. Langley on the set. Salekwa on the spike. She's blocked. And the Deacons now trail by 1.
That was huge there, Jed. Able to get that block back in bounds. That's what we have been talking about. And that might have saved them the game there.
24-23 now. Still game point for the Eagles. Katie Roberts to serve. Nice ball from Roberts. Mickelson receives. Langley sets. Salekwa sends it over. Roberts keeps it in the air. Dew settles it down. Vetter sends it over. Schumacher receives. The set from Langley. A quick tap. Roberts almost kept it up. But Davies comes away with the win in game number 1. A hard-fought battle, but the Eagles take the quick 1-0 lead.
1-0.
At this time, we'd like to take a minute to mention our appreciation to the Shanley Athletic Club and tell you about a great opportunity to be a part of the Athletic Club. Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their be sure to check out their website today at ShanleyAthleticClub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you are not one already. It's easy to become a member and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level. Well, we have a great game going on, obviously, just a 25-23 win there for the Eagles, but Shanley right now not starting things off the way they want to. And Lucas, if you're Shanley right now, what's your approach to game number 2 after really giving game number 1 everything you've got there and still coming up just a bit short?
Well, Jed, I think it's important for the Deacons to remember that was only game 1. There's plenty of volleyball left to be played. Plenty of opportunities to go back to their game to be able to, tighten up some of those mistakes where they've had the mental errors, the miscommunications, and blocks that go out of bounds. But I think it's all there for the Deacons. I don't think they have too much to worry about. Playing a good game, just a few miscommunications and mental slips in that past game. But I do think it's all there, and I'm looking forward for a good second game here by the Deacons.
So now if you're Coach Wilson on the Davies side of things, how do you try to keep your momentum from game number 1 and not kind of slow down after a real successful first game?
Right. I think it's important for them to understand that they did play a good game that first game, a tremendous game, and be able to focus on the positive things. They too had a couple mental errors, but they had plenty of positive things to go off of. Really finding the holes deep in the Deacon defense. Also, their serves were some of the best I've seen in control and spot where they come down. I also think the Eagles, are going to come out ready to fire on the second game.
Well, that's the thing, you can't let up. You can't get too comfortable, especially on the Deacons' home court, although, as we mentioned, the Deacons have not won on the home court so far this year. They're 0-2, and that's definitely something that's got to bug them, not being able to pull out a win yet in McCormick Gymnasium.
That might be something, too, that Coach Johnson will bring up, is that, these girls, they don't like to lose, and to be 0-2 on their home court, that bugs anyone, really. Maybe put a chip on their shoulder, a little fire in their belly, coming out ready to win this second game.
Well, the Deacons do come out of the huddle now looking to have that fire in their belly. It's always tough to be down in a hole on home court nonetheless. It's just 1-0, though, and Shanley definitely is going to try to pull things back together here and take game number 2. Just about ready to get this second game underway. You'll see a fresh face in the lineup there, and it's Olivia Manuel, the freshman. Don't be fooled by her age, though. She is one heck of a player for the Deacons.
Seen her in some of these JV games, Jed. Man, can she play some ball.
The Deacons will serve to begin game 2.
All right, Shanley serving to start this second game, and it's Olivia Manuel to take the serve. Manuel on the serve, it's a deep one, taken by Schumacher, set by Langley, and Langley on the spike. Roberts right there. Olivia Manuel keeps it up. Airholtz sends it over. Langley receives, Langley sets, and then a quick push, but a violation. It was a lift, and the Deacons start things off with a 1-0 lead. Manuel continues to serve now. The lefty with a serve deep in the Eagle territory. Set from Langley, it's a bit of a weird one, and it goes out of bounds from Avery Byer. It was a bit of an awkward set there.
It was a nice start for the Deacons. Another new face back at the outside setter. Hadley Huber, also a freshman. 2 new faces in the lineup here for the Deacons.
Set from Langley, and here comes Langley on the spike. Roberts right there to receive. Manuel puts it up. Roberts just with a little tap, and the Deacons are up 3-0.
Point Deacons. Manuel still serving.
Manuel continues to serve. Nicely placed ball taken by Schumacher, set by Langley. Langley on the spike. Too much, it's out of bounds.
Davies looking to kind of calm down. We've seen 2 now that have just been pounded out of bounds.
Deep serve right into the center of the Eagle court. Quick tap there from Langley. Manuel, great job keeping it up. Huber is there to settle it down, and Airholtz pushes over. Schumacher receives. Langley sets. The spike from Byer, but Manuel is there once again. Vetter sets. Conwisher spikes, and the Deacons are up 5-0. And Davies is forced to take a timeout after a very uncharacteristic start there.
Always tough for a team to have to take a timeout within the first 5-10 points of a game. Hoping to kind of recollect themselves, stick to their game plan, calm down. Like we've seen 2 of them go out of bounds now. Maybe a little miscommunication by the Eagles. But man, are the Deacons looking strong in this second game.
Just doing everything right. And you got to wonder, and it really looks like a combination of Shanley just coming out ready to go and Davies just looking a little flustered out there. And it's just surprising because it's something that we do not see very often at all from this Eagles team.
Deacons doing a nice job capitalizing on that too. When you don't see a lot of errors made by an opposing team, sometimes it's tough to capitalize. Sometimes you're taken back by the fact that they're making mistakes. But nice job by the Deacons recognizing that and taking advantage.
All right, both teams come out of the huddle now. Eagles hoping that timeout can slow down the Deacon attack. Manuel serve low. Mickelson gets there in time. Langley sets it up, and Byer sends it over. Airholtz receives. Vetter sets. Spike from Roberts. Point Deacons. 6-0 now, not the way the Eagles wanted to come out of the timeout.
Very impressive serve there from Olivia Manuel, low and hard.
Different corner this time, and it does go out of bounds. After an impressive 6-0 run by Manuel, Eagles do finally get a break as she just puts that one out.
We'll see, Jed, if Davies can get on a little roll of their own, kind of close this lead.
The serve taken immediately by Huber. The set and then the tap from Conwisher still in play. The Eagles keep it going. Mickelson sends it right over to the Deacons. Huber receives. Vetter sets. Conwisher spikes. Right there, though, was Langley. Mickelson settles it down, and now the quick hit from Schumacher. Huber is there. Vetter sets. Roberts spikes trying to put it away. The Eagles remain tall. Quick push from Schumacher. Huber once again. It's a bit of a rhythm for both teams, neither relenting. Blocked at the line. It's still up. Bergantine sends it over. Erholtz calls for it. Roberts spikes. She puts a lot behind it, but Mickelson says no way. The point is still going, and finally.
What a point.
Wow. Salekwa put it into the net, trying to bury it on the Deacons side. And that was a bit of a funny point. It just kept going, and it was in such a rhythm. Both teams just kind of kept going back and forth.
I wasn't sure if it was going to end. Like you said, that rhythm from both teams.
The serve taken by Mickelson, and Langley sends it over. Vetter gets there just in time. Roberts sends it over. Mickelson receives. Set from Langley. Quick spike from Bergantine. And it's 7-2 in favor of the Deacons. Eagles trying to put something together. Caitlin Anderson in for Davies. Anderson with a low serve. Roberts takes it. Vetter sets it up. Conwisher spikes. Eagles got a piece of it at the line. Langley sets it up. Schumacher spikes. Roberts kept it going, and it goes into the scorer's table. Point Eagles, 7-3 now.
Point Eagles, Anderson still serving.
Anderson continues to serve. Another low one. Erholtz is there. Dietz sets it up. Vetter sends it over. Langley receives. Mickelson sets the spike from Schumacher. And Erholtz was just a little off in her timing there.
It was a well-placed spike there. Taylor Erholtz not really sure where that one was going to go. A nice spike there from the Eagles.
Just waited a half a second too long. And, you know, you're right, part of that was that ball didn't quite know where it was going until the last second, and then right there the Eagles turn the ball over. That's not what you need if you're Davies. They were really getting on a roll there.
It was a roll, exactly. It's tough, you know, that's another mental mistake. We've seen two spikes go out of bounds, and now two balls into the net. That's tough.
The third member of this freshman trio for the Deacons, Riley Payne, is in to serve. Eagles, great job getting that ball over short. So a quick shift for Payne there as she heads back to the bench as Erholtz checks in. Bergantine will serve for Davies as they are down just 3 points now. Strong serve, Erholtz gets there, Vetter puts it back into play, Erholtz pushes over. Anderson receives, Langley sets, Salekwa spikes too much. 4-point lead now for Shanley. Julia Vetter serving.
Serving number 11, Julia Vetter.
Shorter serve from Vetter. Anderson is there. Quick set from Langley, but it wasn't quite high enough. Terry put it into the net.
So those mental mistakes, Jed, they'll get any team.
Clearly affecting Davies right now, down 10-5. Vetter's serve, a lot of air behind it. Anderson receives. Langley sets up. Schumacher spikes. A great ball from Schumacher.
That's dangerous when Schumacher gets a running start like that. You know that ball's going to have a lot behind it. That one getting to the back third of that Deacon side. Nice spike there.
And while the Eagles have struggled somewhat in this second game, Elise Schumacher has been just rock solid the whole game. Vetter on the set, due on the spike.
Just barely in.
Barely. They'll take it, though. Can't place them much better than that.
I'd call that a coffin corner there, Jed.
Checking in number 23, Hadley Huber.
Hadley Huber in now to serve. Huber's ball short.
Wow, what
And
a
Eagles
serve.
not expecting that an ace as Byer could not get there in time. Huber, this time a longer serve. Mickelson receives. Langley sets it up quick. Oh, a great dig there from Huber, but just a real quick tap from Keely Terry.
Checking back in number 5, Madison Langley.
12-7 in favor of Shanley. Schumacher back to serve. Longer one taken by Erholtz, set by Vetter, and then the push from Berg. Mickelson receives, Langley sets it up, and Langley spikes. Roberts takes it, Vetter sets it, and Roberts spikes. Right there was Byer. Set from Langley. Langley with a little push, and a miscommunication from the Deacons. It was Vetter and Roberts who both went in there for it.
It was nice position there on that push to be able to kind of get that in the hole.
Serve taken by Roberts, set by Vetter, and Roberts just sends it back over. Langley sets, and Langley spikes. Too much on it, and it'll be point Deacons. Back to the 5-point lead.
Conwisher back in for the Deacons.
Kylie Conwisher subs back in. Taylor Erholtz serving. Erholtz serve. Just a little too much on it. She put one short later in that first game, and this time a little too much on it.
Serving number 13, McCormick.
Not exactly what you want to do there, Jed. Give the ball back to the Eagles, see what they can do with it now.
It's an uncharacteristic mistake from Erholtz, though, usually rock solid for the Deacons. A miscommunication. Dew handled it well, though, and got the ball over. Just a little tap, but it is rejected. Kylie Conwisher sent that ball right back. Langley tried to get away with the tap.
That had no chance of getting over to that Shanley side, Jed.
That's the difference Kylie Conwisher makes in that front court. Do serve a low, fast one. Wow.
What a serve.
I don't think the Eagles were expecting that one.
That was very well executed. Like we've been saying, that's a dangerous play to have that low and that fast at the net.
Do serve, again a low one. This time the Eagles get it, though. And a quick push, but it's... Oh. And it will be Deacon point after conflicting signals there, yeah. And now it's a 16-9 lead as the Eagles take a timeout. Wow, 7 points now for the Deacons. And we take a look at some replays here to see just how they got that lead. It's plays like that, Lucas. You know, Katie Roberts and that front court have just stepped up so much. And that combined with the fantastic start from Olivia Manuel and the rest of the team, and the Deacons are just rolling right now.
You know, this is Deacon volleyball right here. This is what they've been trained to do. This is what they've practiced. It's all about kind of falling into that rhythm and being able to execute during the pressure of the game.
The student section now on their feet here in McCormick Gymnasium. The Deacons with all the momentum. Correction on the scoreboard, though, now it is a 15-9 lead, so it's still 6 points. That is the biggest lead Shanley's had all game. Brooklyn Dew still serving. After the timeout, Dew low ball. It is taken by Byer. Langley sets, and then Mickelson sends it over. Dew is there for the Deacons. Vetter sets, Roberts spikes, it's denied, wow!
Hard block at the line there by the Eagles.
Argentine's block ends up kitty corner all the way in the opposite corner of the Deacon court. Just no way to defend that.
Serving number 11, Kenzie Langley.
Looks like Coach Johnson wants a little explanation there.
We're ready to get back to the action, though. 15-10 in favor of the Deacons. Langley's serve taken by Manuel off the vent, though. Great save from Vetter as Erholtz pushes it over. Set by Langley, and now the spike at the line. The Deacons couldn't get it back onto the Davies side. Salekwa just sent it right over. Langley continues to serve now. Shorter ball, Erholtz mishandled it.
That's tough. Looked like she was a little off balance, maybe a little more weight on her right foot than she wanted. It's important in that back row to stay even there, centered to that ball.
And you could see Ehrholtz knew it the second it happened. Again, just uncharacteristic of her. Good save there by the Deacons. Roberts pushed it over, but now the Eagles come right back as Kylie Bergantine strikes again. She's starting to heat up now.
Really looking, the Eagles are really looking at that back line, finding the holes there. That's dangerous for the Deacons. Hopefully they can tighten that up.
Langley's serve taken by Manuel. It ended up on the Davies side, but then they sent her right back. Hold on. Conflicting signals.
I think it's going to be a net violation on the Eagles, so that's going to be a point Deacons.
And that is what it is. The Deacons take the point. Roberts serve back into that corner and out of bounds. That's a tough break for the Deacons.
Yeah, you never want to have that happen, especially when you just fought off a roll coming from the Eagles.
The Deacons a lot of times have looked like they were going to run away with this, but Davies has just refused to give up on this one, and they have done a great job coming back a couple times. Better on the set, a quick tap and a heads-up play from Kylie Conwisher. It's 17-14 now, 3-point lead for the Deacons. Riley Payne back to serve. A lot behind it. Mickelson is there though. Langley sets. Quick tap from Salekwa. Point Eagles.
Point Eagles. Ehrholtz back in. Terry back in for the Eagles, serving Kylie Bergantine.
Bergantine back to serve. Her serve, a long one, and it goes out of bounds.
Taylor Ehrholtz making that last-second decision to let that one go out of bounds. She's been fooled before. Good eyes by Taylor Ehrholtz.
Real smart play there. Vetter serving. Vetter's serve deep into the Davies zone. It was taken by Anderson, and now Anderson will spike. She is denied by Emily Dietz.
Emily Dietz solo up on that net, able to get in front of that ball. What a block by Emily Dietz.
Just placed it perfectly, too, right where it had to be, right in the gap of the Davies D. Vetter's serve taken by Anderson, set by Langley, and then the spike had a lot behind it, but it was out of bounds.
Vetter still serving.
Vetter back to serve. Short ball, Anderson got there, set from Langley. Salekwa on the spike, Roberts kept it going. Vetter is there again, Ehrholtz sends it over, Mickelson is there. Set, and then the spike from Salekwa, great dig from Vetter, Dew keeps it going, and Ehrholtz sends it over. Good point going for both teams, a quick set, and the Eagles mishandle it. 6-point lead for the Deacons.
Might have been a net violation there, Jed. Another good volley from both teams. Deacons come away with the point.
I think you're right there. The Eagles got tangled up right at the net, and unfortunately it cost them the point. Real short serve there from Vetter, trying to catch him off guard. Set by Langley, spike from Salekwa. And the Eagles staying alive, down 5 now after the kill. Avery Byer back to serve. Byer's serve, taken by Ehrholtz, set by Vetter. Dietz on the spike, but it fell on the Shanley side. It's a 4-point deficit now for the Eagles.
That's a mental error there by Emily Dietz you won't see happen very often.
Again on the serve, it's Byer. Roberts receives, set from Vetter. Berg on the spike, blocked at the net. Vetter keeps it going. Berg sets it up, and now Dietz spikes again. It's blocked. Still going, though, for the Deacons. Dew's ball over to Anderson. A quick bump there from Terry, but it wasn't enough, and it's now 22-17 Deacons. She hit it twice in a row there trying to keep it up, and now Hadley Huber will serve. Huber's ball, short one, good dig though from Byer. And that ball goes out of bounds. from Schumacher, rather.
Now it's critical for these Eagles to keep everything in play. Down 23-17, it's important to keep everything in their favor.
Mickelson receives the serve, the set, and then the spike from Anderson. Huber just couldn't get there in time.
Point Eagles.
She's had some nice digs tonight, but the Eagles were just right there. They made the perfect play, put it right in the hole of the Deacon D. Schumacher serving now. She's been great for the Eagles so far. Erholtz receives, Vetter sets, Berg with the tap, point
Nice
Deacons.
A perfectly executed tap there from Berg, recognizing the spike wasn't there like we talked about before. Sometimes it's not about the big spike, the big windup. It's just a nice soft tap that gets the job done.
Game point now as Erholtz serves. Received by Anderson. Oh, the fake set from Langley. And she just pushes it over to the Shanley side. What a heads-up play there.
Very nicely done.
Side out. Serving McKenna Mickelson.
McKenna Mickelson back to serve as the Eagles look to stay alive. They're down 5 points. It does remain game point for the Deacons. Mickelson serve, taken by Huber. Set from Vetter, Roberts looking to kill. It's taken by Byer, and then the quick poke. Oh, and Deacons cannot get there in time. 24-20.
Mickelson still serving.
Davies still not done. Mickelson continues to serve. Roberts keeps it up. Vetter sets, the spike from Conwisher is blocked, but Erholtz kept it going. Set from Vetter, Dew sends it over. Langley is there. Bergantine sets. Langley trying to get the kill. Right back is Vetter. Dew sets it up. Roberts spikes it, still in the air. It falls down. Langley sets it up. The spike onto the Shanley side. Vetter kept it going. Dew sets it up. A quick poke. It's still going. Eagles refuse to give up on the point. Langley is blocked. It falls at the line, but it's out of bounds.
What a point.
Down 3 points now. The Eagles just keep coming back. Remains game point. Mickelson serve taken by Roberts at an awkward angle. Huber sets it up. Conwisher sends it over. Taken by Byer. Set by Langley. Langley with the poke. Vetter kept it going. Huber is there, but it's Roberts who got to it. Dew pushes. Again, Byer. Langley sets the spike. Received by Vetter. Set by Dew. Roberts spikes. Out of bounds, but it's off. The Eagles and the Deacons take game number 2.
Deacons take game 2 by a score of 25-21.
Nice job by the Eagles, though, hanging in there, coming back from a large deficit, being able to stick with that, make that one a tight game.
They made Shanley really fight for that last point there. At this time, we'd like to give a shout out to one of our faithful viewers, Lynn Swenson, watching from Phoenix. Always glad to hear from you and glad to hear from anybody watching. Give us a tweet on social media, message us on Facebook, get in touch, and we'll try to give you a shout out on air. We're happy to hear that you're watching. We would also like to apologize for some of our technical difficulties with our connection tonight. We apologize if you've had any trouble viewing tonight's game and hope to get those resolved. All right. Well, a great first game from the Eagles. It was real close, but Davies came away with it. Then in game number 2, Shanley looked like they were just going to run away with it at multiple different points, and the Eagles demonstrated great resilience, only to have Shanley put it away there just at the end. They almost gave up a big comeback, though, to Davies. So now you're headed into game 3. We've already had what feels like 5 games worth of excitement. What should we expect from this third game here?
I think, Jed, Deacons have to focus on what they did good, which was a lot. It's tough against a team like the Eagles to have a perfect game and really run away with it. But like we saw early and kind of towards the end of that game, they do have the potential to go on a couple scoring runs. I think it's important to focus on some of the good things, and I think rotating some of those freshmen in there really kind of kept the lineup fresh, give some of the starters a rest. I think that is good for the Deacons. Also on the Davies side, also focus on some of those good things. They did come back from quite a few deficits in that game, really made Deacons work for it, and we've seen they can do it, run or have a couple good runs as we've seen on the first game. I really think both teams have strong potential going into this next game and really looking for a good match.
It's just fun to see two evenly matched teams like Shanley and Davies with such good front courts. But you know, Davies' strength, obviously they've done well on the front court, but I think you have to give huge props to Kenzie Langley, who's just been all over the court, whether it be setting, spiking, or a couple of those fake set dumps she put over onto the Shanley side. She's just done it all.
Absolutely. And Davies also doing a nice job really picking on the back half of the court for the Deacons, really finding the hole. If that's where the Deacons are weakest, I think they should tighten that up and really work on putting bodies in those holes and making sure, kind of playing a protect area to save some of those points.
And I think what we're seeing here tonight is two teams that are just so familiar with each other, and they just keep figuring each other out again and again, and that just leads to really close, fun games as they're just so familiar and in tune with each other's strategies. Entering set number 3 now here in McCormick Gymnasium. Davies took number 1. The Deacons looking to come, or they did come back in game number 2, and now it's anyone's game here in number 3. Both games were extremely close.
The Eagles will serve in game 3, serving number 11, Kenzie Langley.
Kenzie Langley back to serve. We just mentioned she was having a great night, and indeed she is. Manuel receives, Vetter sets it up, the spike from Roberts. Schumacher is there, set from Langley, and Langley on the spike. She's blocked, but the Eagles keep it going. A quick spike attempt, but it goes into the net. Salekwa could not get it over.
We have seen her make a couple of those mistakes in that second game there, Jed. I'd like to see her work on that and work on getting that ball over the net.
Roberts serve, a low one taken by Schumacher. The quick set, but the Deacons are there to respond. Vetter pushes it over. Still up in the air though, but then a collision at midcourt. Mickelson collided with Salekwa, and they ended up losing the point, but more importantly, Mickelson came up hobbling a bit there. It is good to see though, she's up and moving now. Roberts serve, taken by Schumacher. It was in the same place. Langley sets, Langley spikes. Oh, what a ball!
Very well placed, and that had some speed behind it, Jed. Nicely done.
Manuel just could not get to that one, and it's tough to blame her because that ball had just about everything on it. Caitlin Anderson serving. Anderson's serve taken by Manuel, but it goes out of bounds. Olivia Manuel and Katie Roberts were, I think, going back and forth as to who had that one, and it led to an awkward angle for Manuel as it went out of bounds. 2-2 now. Serve, great dig from Manuel. Vetter set, spike from Conwisher, wow.
It all started with that nice dig there by Manuel to get that ball up and in play, and what a spike there from Conwisher.
Riley Payne back to serve. Short ball from Payne, Schumacher is there. The set, and then the spike from Bergantine. Payne gets it up in the air, Roberts gets it back in play, Vetter sends it over. Anderson, then the set, and then the spike from Salekwa. The Deacons respond, Roberts pushes it over. Awkward ball kept in play, but it falls out of bounds.
It looked like that ball on the Deacons side there, Jed, went off the air vent all the way up on the ceiling. Nice job by Katie Roberts to get that back in play.
The ceiling has really come into play quite a bit here tonight. Oh, what a kill from Emily Dietz!
Just a heads-up play, knowing that she doesn't have to get that ball set up for her team, and being able to hit that spike with so much power behind it. What a ball.
My gosh, that ball just about cracked the floorboards. Shanley is up 5-2 now. Payne receives, Vetter sets, and then the spike from Berg. Nice reception, though, by Anderson. Anderson now on the spike. A piece of it was gotten by Dietz at the line. Dietz now trying to get another kill here. It's kept in play by Langley. But once again, it's the same vent. It's just that one vent right there that has come into play multiple times.
Timeout taken by the Eagles there, Jed. They're again having to take an early timeout. Probably looking to kind of recuperate and calm down, start playing their game.
Well, it's a 6-2 lead for Shanley right now, and they're firing on all cylinders. It's a better start, though, for the Eagles than last game, but they just do not want to fall into an early hole because when you have to play from behind, it just becomes extremely difficult to overtake your opponent and get the lead.
Deacons trying to focus on doing the little things right. We've seen they've had their return digs and their sets be a little cleaner the past 2 games. Look for those to continue to improve and look for some great plays by the Deacons and the Eagles in this game.
Quick reminder here before we get back underway, don't forget to join us next week for Shanley's homecoming. We'll have 3 real good games coming your way. We got some soccer, some volleyball, and then of course homecoming football on Friday. I'll touch more on that later, but keep it in mind, folks, should be a fun week of broadcasting. Riley Payne serving. It's a quick ball taken by Mickelson. The set and then the spike from Bergantine. Deacons got a piece at the line. Payne sets it up. Roberts pushes over. Mickelson is there. The set and then the spike from Salekwa blocked by Dietz. Eagles resetting. Bergantine pushes over. Manuel receives. Vetter sets. Dietz spikes.
Wow.
What a game for Emily Dietz here. She has just gotten on fire in game number 3.
Just another one of those power spikes there, Jed. Nicely done.
It is 5 kills now for Emily Dietz. Payne serve, taken by Anderson, set by Langley. Schumacher spike, she's blocked, but it goes out of bounds. Of course, that was a problem for the Deacons in that game against Red River. However, they have done a real good job of not letting that bother them very much tonight. Bergantine back to serve. Manuel receives, Vetter sets, Berg on the spike. Anderson is there, the set from Langley. Schumacher spike, she's blocked, but it's out of bounds.
Point Eagles.
Gotta be a little scared of doing that too much. Don't want to fall back into that rhythm of last week. Bergantine, low ball taken by Roberts. Vetter sets it up. Dietz with the tap, didn't quite get enough behind it. Davies starting to make a comeback. It is a 2-point deficit for the visitors right now. Bergantine's serve goes right off Emmanuel. It was a tough angle to come at it from.
Just a nice, hard, low serve there. Tough to receive a serve like that.
Just a 1-point lead for the Deacons now. Looking to get the ball back. Bergantine, a low serve. Manuel with a great dig. Roberts puts it up in the air. It goes off the light, but Manuel sends it back over. Eagles trying to keep it in play. Anderson spike. Great dig from Airholtz. Set by Vetter. Berg on the spike. It's still up in the air, but the Deacons come away with the point.
What a point. What a point. Just huge spikes by both teams. Taylor Airholtz with a great dig to get that ball back up.
That was huge for the Deacons as they prevent the tie from happening. Vetter on the serve. Good dig there from Mickelson. The set from Langley. The spike from Anderson. Vetter right there for the Deacons. Berg sets it up. Dew on the spike. Taken by Anderson. Schumacher on the spike. Roberts is there. Vetter sets it up once again, though. Berg on the spike right into the gap.
You know, Jed, it's looking like Shanley's moving more into that power rotation. Vetter now in the back row. Now you have Berg, Dietz, and Brooklyn Dew up front, looking to make some power up on front.
Vetter's serve taken by Schumacher. The set from Langley. The spike from Salekwa is denied. Vetter continues to serve. 10-6 lead for the Deacons. Vetter's ball taken by Schumacher, put up in the air by Langley. The spike from Anderson. Roberts is right there. Dietz sets it up. Dew on the spike. Ow, just out of bounds.
Ball out of bounds. Point Eagles. Avery Byer back in for the Eagles. Byer will serve.
Byer back to serve for the Eagles now. It's a 10-7 lead for Davies. The serve taken by Erholtz, put up in the air by Vetter. The spike from Berg goes into the net.
Ball into the net. Point Eagles. Byer still serving.
Byer continues the serve. The Eagles now down only by 2. Byer's serve taken by Erholtz. The set from Vetter, and now the spike from Brooklyn Dew. A great save there from Byer. Anderson keeps it in play. Mickelson sends it over. Erholtz receives. Vetter sets. Dietz spikes, but still the Eagles keep it going. Langley sets it up. Anderson spikes. And it's Deacon point as that ball goes into the net.
Point Deacons, side out.
Hadley Huber comes in now for Shanley. She will serve. Huber's serve, a short one. Mickelson is there. The set from Langley, the tap there from Terry. Vetter sets it up, and then the spike from Dew. Oh, the Eagles tried to keep that one going, but it was a double hit there. And now it's a 4-point lead for Shanley. Hadley Huber. This time it's a bit longer. Mickelson receives, and then Langley just pushes it over. Vetter is not fooled, though. Dew puts it up in the air. The quick poke is blocked. Dew tries to get it back over. The Eagles respond well. Mickelson puts it up in the air. Ball sent over. Huber dives. Ball goes into the net, and then Davies comes away with the point.
Point for the Eagles. Checking back in for the Eagles.
3-point lead for Shanley.
Serving will be number 18, Elise Schumacher.
Schumacher serving. Erholtz to Vetter. And then Roberts tried to send it cross court.
Looked like a funny angle for Roberts.
And it fell on the Deacon side, right.
Kind of an unconventional way to hit that ball. Not what they wanted there.
Trying to go across the net there and put it just where it needed to be, but it just didn't have enough behind it to make it to the other side. Roberts sends it over. Davies, though, sends it right back. Great dig from Katie Roberts, and then Dew pushes it over. Langley sets the spike from Langley. Oh, wow. A great kill.
Inbounds. Well played.
As you'd say, Lucas Coffin cornered that one. Schumacher still serving. Schumacher not much behind it. Dew's right there, though. The set from Vetter. Berg on the spike. Oh, a great ball from Sierra Berg. 13-11 in favor of the home team. Taylor Erholtz back to serve. Erholtz's ball, a low one. Eagles barely got it over, and then Kylie Conwisher, opportunistic, just pushes that ball barely over the net and puts it right in the gap.
Nice job by Conwisher using that big reach of hers to get that ball back over the net, just over the defenders.
Erholtz again on the serve. Byer is there, and then a quick push. Deacons not fooled. Dew tried to get it over, and it's sent over by Huber. Received by Schumacher. The set, the spike from Terry right into the corner.
There's that quick spike, Jed. Hard to execute, but man, is that effective.
Point Eagles side out. Mickelson to serve.
Mickelson to serve. Mickelson's ball taken by Roberts, set by Erholtz, and Roberts tries to put it across court again. Once again, she just left a little too, she didn't put enough behind it, just didn't put enough on it. 14-13 in favor of the Deacons. Mickelson's serve. It's taken by Roberts, set from Vetter, the spike from Conwisher, good dig from Mickelson. Set by Langley, spike from Langley, but it's out of bounds.
Ball out of bounds. So the point Deacons side out.
2-point lead for the Deacons. Dew back there to serve. Dew's serve taken, set by Langley, and then Schumacher spikes but is blocked.
Block.
Point Deacons.
Nice job by Conwisher there. Again, the lone blocker, and nice placement to get that away from the play and kind of deep in the Eagles' territory for that point.
Dew's serve a long one. It's taken by Byers, set by Langley, and then Byer on the spike, but it's into the net. 17-13 Shanley. And the Eagles are forced to take a timeout, down 4 now. And Shanley is really starting to get their groove going. See on some of these replays, the Deacons have just established the game plan they wanted coming into this one. There's one of Emily Dietz's great kills in this game. Although I don't know who's leading in kills. It's between Emily Dietz and the Vents. It's close. It's Katie Roberts also in there with 5 kills, and Sierra Berg with 4. Of course, Emily Dietz has 5 as well. And the Deacons are looking really strong in that front court, as Kylie Conwisher also has 4 blocks, and Emily Dietz herself has 2. So Shanley getting that front court going. They had trouble with it last game, but now they've really just established their dominance, and they're using that height to their advantage, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely, and I think that's key when you have the power Shanley does up front. To be able to use that to your advantage and to have it well executed really helps them win games.
17-13 Deacons. We are tied up 1-1. Dew on the serve. Byer is there, the set from Langley, and then the poke from Langley. Dew is right there for the Deacons. Quick push there from Vetter. Eagles come right back. Bergantine's ball is taken by the Deacons. The spike from Roberts, it's still in the air. Langley sets it up. Langley over there to spike it. Dew keeps it going. Vetter sets it up, and now Roberts with a little push. Davies not fooled. They continue to march on. Shanley with the ball now. Dew over to Vetter, and then Conwisher on the spike. Still, the Eagles won't back down. Langley's serve. Airholtz is there, but then the ball goes out of bounds. Eagles win a big point there. 17-14 Shanley. Olivia Manuel checking back in now for the Deacons. The serve taken by Manuel, set by Vetter. The spike from Roberts goes off of Langley and into the net. Oh, it was a tremendous effort to keep that ball going. I mean, if she hadn't gotten to it, it would have been gone. But unfortunately, no one there for Davies.
Well, that just shows you the power Katie Roberts has behind that spike, going off a defender back into the net.
Taken by Mickelson, set by Langley. A quick spike, and it falls right into the Deacon corner. 18-13 now.
Anderson back in.
Caitlin Anderson subs in, and she will serve now for Davies. Anderson's serve. Taken by Manuel, set by Vetter. The spike from Conwisher, point Deacons. Shanley approaching the 20-point mark. They hold a 4-point lead. Sierra Berg in now, and Riley Payne as well. Payne will serve. Payne's serve, taken by Schumacher, set by Langley. Salekwa tried to send it over. Emily Dietz was there to block it.
Great job by Emily Dietz up front, noticing that they're going to try that quick set again. Nice job by Emily Dietz.
Payne's serve, not enough behind it. That's a big one for Davies.
It's important now for the Deacons to get a quick point, get the ball back in their hands, get out of this game quickly.
Eagles have a great person here in to serve right now, Bergantine, and there you see it. She just puts those balls right where they have to go, and we saw Olivia Manuel have a little trouble receiving some of her serves earlier in this game. But Manuel, of course, a pretty good player in her own right, so should be a fun battle here. Bergantine this time shorts it. Oh, what a dig from Manuel. Dietz sends it over, and the Deacons get the point. Wow.
Little redemption there for Manuel to be able to go from struggling with receiving a serve like that to be able to get up quick, get that ball up in the air, and get it nice set. Great point by the Deacons.
That'll be on the end of the year highlight reel. Just a fantastic dig there from Manuel, and then Dietz doing what she does best. Serve received by Anderson. Now the spike from Schumacher. Roberts is there. Vetter sets. Deuce spikes. Eagles keep it going. It falls into the net. And the Deacons come away with the point, 22-17.
Deacons, Vetter still serving.
Vetter's serve taken by Mickelson. The set from Langley. Salekwa on the spike. It went out of bounds, and it'll be Shanley point. 6-point lead for the Deacons.
Deacons looking for 2 quick points to get out of this game with the lead. See if it happens.
Don't forget last game, they had trouble putting it away, and right there, that's not what you want, as that ball goes out of bounds.
Point Eagles side out. Avery Byer coming back in. Byer will serve.
Byer back to serve. Her ball taken by Ehrholtz, set by Vetter, and then Dietz with the little poke, but the Eagles aren't fooled. The set from Langley, and then the spike from Byer. Good dig from Vetter, due on the spike, but it goes out of bounds. 23-19.
Byer still serving.
A couple of mistakes there. Deacons just can't afford at this point. They need a couple quick points, put this one away.
Avery Byer serving. Roberts takes it, Vetter sets. Dew spikes, Schumacher's there, set from Langley, and then the tip at the line. Oh, Dew kept it going, but Berg was not there. 23-20, Eagles continue to claw back, and now the Deacons are forced to take a timeout, and that's big.
Time to recollect your thoughts, kind of calm down, get back into the swing of things. Been playing well this whole game, trying to refocus and work on to get back to that.
So now the Deacons were up 23-17. They've surrendered 3 straight points. What's your strategy if you're Shanley now, trying to get 2 quick ones and end this?
Well, Jed, it's all about getting the return up. They had some trouble in the past, struggling with returning the serves. You know, Davies doing a great job of switching up some of the serves, whether they're short, long, left, or right, but being able to return those is key. That first touch of that ball has got to be up so you can get a nice set and hopefully a nice spike along.
Avery Byer still serving. Long ball taken by Ehrholtz, set from Vetter. Dietz sends it over, Mickelson right there. Langley sets, and that ball makes it over to the Shanley side on its own. Dew sets it up, Berg pushes, Mickelson right there, set from Langley. Now the spike, oh, what a great spike from Avery Byer. Deacons got a piece at the line, but it wasn't enough. 23-21.
Byer still serving.
Byer continues to serve. Ehrholtz there. Vetter sets, Dietz spikes, Mickelson right there. Ball takes a big bounce, and now Schumacher coming in, but she is blocked. What a huge play. Berg and Dietz combined.
That is big for the Deacons now with game point here. They could really use this, get out of this game.
Game point, and the freshman Hadley Huber is in to serve. Huber's serve goes straight back to Anderson. The set from Langley, but she just sent it over herself. Dew sets it up for Roberts. Her spike goes off of Mickelson off the ceiling, but it's still in the air. Ball going, but it's out of bounds. The Deacons take game number 2, or 3. It's 2 games to 1 for the Deacons, rather.
2 games to 1.
And now the Eagles have got to win game number 4 here if they want to stay in this one.
Nice job by the Davies Eagles to really hang in there. There were a couple times, Jed, when they were not necessarily out of it, but faced a couple deficits that were kind of looming, kind of big. Nice job by the Eagles.
Some stats here after game number 3. Julia Vetter has 19 assists tonight. Katie Roberts with 6 kills. Kylie Conwisher with 4 kills and 4 blocks, and then Emily Dietz with 6 kills and 4 blocks, and a large number of those came just in the last game here. She was absolutely on fire for most of that one.
I'd really look for that to continue, Jed. You know, when you get on a roll yourself, you tend to pick up your team around you. Your team feeds off of that. So I think keeping a good attitude on both teams will help them perform better.
Once again, we'd like to remind you that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathletic.club.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button, or become a member if you're not one already. It's easy to become a member, and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level. As we enter game number 4 here, the Deacons lead this 2-1, but it is still anyone's game out there. Fantastic volleyball being played. All 3 games have been so close. What's it going to take to separate these 2 teams? If you're Shanley, what does it take to put it away in game number 4? And if you're Davies, what does it take to stay alive and force game number 5?
I think, Jed, this next game will be whoever makes the fewest errors. Both teams playing really well, but a couple mental mistakes by both teams really cost a couple points. Specifically looking at the Deacons, they've got to finish out having a 23-17 lead and then letting Davies to get back in that's tough on a team. It's tough. You can't always work your way out of something like that. So I think it's being able to finish for the Deacons, and for Davies on their side, they've got to focus on the positives. They've played well, staying out of the mental mistakes area. They're really kind of keying in again on that back row, finding some of those gaps. Nice job by the Eagles. I think they got plenty of good stuff to go off of.
Definitely, they've played some real nice games here. And, you know, you mentioned all those comebacks they've mounted in the last 2 games. But right now it's about finishing those off, as that is just not something they've been able to do. They have come very close, however. And on the flip side, Shanley just needs to buckle down and they need to bury those games. All right, both teams coming out to the court now.
The Deacons will serve to begin game 4.
It will be Shanley's serve here to start game number 4 off. It's Olivia Manuel back there, and remember in game number 2, she went on a 6-0 run to start things off. She'll be looking to replicate that success right now. The serve from Manuel, taken by Mickelson, set by Langley, and then the spike from Langley is blocked by Kylie Conwisher. Deacons picking up where they left off with dominant front court play. Manuel still serving. Her ball taken by Langley, set by Langley, and then the spike right on the line from Bergantine.
Nice execution of that quick spike, not needing a big windup, but rather having a quick spike more than a powerful one.
Perfect placement there. Anderson serving. Her ball way back into the corner. Oh, what a great job by Vetter to keep it up, and Airholtz pushes it over. The set and then the spike from Bergantine. Deacons can't keep it up in the air. It falls on their side.
Point Eagles. Anderson still serving.
Serve from Anderson into the net. A tough break for the Eagles there. They have had some slow starts here in the last 2 games, and that is not what they needed. Roberts, a low serve into the net, so the Eagles get a break of their own. Back-to-back net balls from both teams. It's Bergantine on the serve. She's had a nice day tonight serving. Conwisher spike, oh my goodness! Goes right by Caitlin Anderson, just a bullet.
Very well placed too. Not only would that have a lot of power behind it, but the accuracy on that one too.
Payne back there to serve, all tied up 3-3. Mickelson right there, Langley on the set, and then the spike from Schumacher just made it in. Wow, what a beauty.
There again, picking on that back row, Jed, noticing that that's got some holes in the Deacon defense, trying to key in on that.
Avery Byers serving now. Eagles hold a 1-point lead. Erholtz receives, Vetter sets, Berg spikes. Oh, a great save from Mickelson. Langley puts it in the air, and then Schumacher sends it over. Berg with a diving save, and then Dietz is the one who pushes it over to the Eagles side. Langley sets, Schumacher spikes. Deacons got a piece at the line, and Erholtz couldn't get there. She took a tumble there, but does get up. 5-3 now for Davies. And Shanley takes a second there to wipe up the floor. Erholtz perhaps slipping there, attempting to get to that ball. So Byer to serve again. Short ball, Erholtz gets there. Vetter sets, and then Berg spikes, but she's denied.
Davies looking strong this fourth game here. Look to continue that.
Keely Terry makes the block, and now they're up 6-3. Byers' ball taken by Roberts, set from Vetter. Dietz on the spike. She's looking to change this start.
When in doubt, call Emily Dietz, man. Every spike she's hit has got everything behind it.
Eagles off to a good start though still, and that's exactly what they needed to do. Vetter's ball taken by Mickelson, set by Langley. The spike is blocked by Dietz.
What a game by Dietz. Not only can she spike it, but she can get up there and smack that ball down.
Just racking up the kills and the blocks so far this evening. Deacons trail by just one now. Vetter's ball received by Mickelson, set by Langley, and then sent over by Byer. Oh, it's just in. That ball was just on the right side of the line. That's all it takes.
Well placed there by Byer to get that inbounds, but made the Deacons hesitate.
The serve from Schumacher. Roberts receives. Vetter sets. Dew sends it over. Right there, though, is Schumacher. Langley sets it up, and then Langley tried to tap it over, but there just wasn't enough behind it. 7-6 now in favor of the Eagles. Hadley Huber back serving. Ball received right in the middle of the Davies court. Oh, a great spike. Wow, Taylor Erholtz keeps it up with one arm. Hello. Eagles still going, though. The ball's blocked. It was on the line, but it was more out of bounds than in.
Nicely done by Taylor Erholtz just to get an arm on that and keep that in play.
Whole Shanley team did a great job keeping that one in, but it was the Eagles who played through the whole point. Although on that serve, it does go out of bounds, and so it is once again a 1-point lead for the Eagles. Shanley having trouble tying this one up. They've gotten it really close the last few points, but they just can't seem to get it all knotted up. Erholtz serve, a low one, taken by Mickelson, set by Langley, and then Schumacher pushes it over. Vetter receives, Dew sets, Roberts spikes, Mickelson right there. Langley sets it up again, and Langley spikes just past Erholtz, and they will give it to the Eagles. 9-7 in favor of the visitors.
Serving number 11, Kenzie Langley.
Salekwa back in. It's Kenzie Langley serving. Roberts takes it. Vetter sets. Conwisher spikes. Oh,
call that a lift, I believe.
That they will, and it is Eagle Point now 10-7. They hold a 3-point lead.
Langley still serving.
Langley's serve taken by Huber, but it was from an awkward angle, and you could see it on her face right as it made impact. She knew that was not going where she wanted. Langley serving. Langley's serve taken by Huber, set by Vetter. Roberts spikes. Oh, a great ball from Roberts, but a great save by the Eagles. It was Langley who got under it. Bergantine is blocked. Eagles still keeping it in play. Mickelson sends it over. Vetter is there to receive. Dew sets it up. Roberts just punches it up in the air. Eagles not fooled. Salekwa taps it. Huber is there. Vetter pushes, and Mickelson couldn't get there. She was just a little too slow getting to it. Watched it for just a quarter of a second too long.
That's big there for the Deacons. Get on a little roll of their own, close this gap.
Right now they're just trying to keep this deficit manageable, but you're right, they have to close the gap here soon. Salekwa's ball kept in play by Dew. Erholt sends it in, and then Roberts does a good job getting it over to the Davies side. Langley sets, Salekwa spikes. She is blocked. Mickelson keeps it going. Langley sets again. Langley taps it. Dew is there, set from Vetter. Roberts on the spike. She's denied. It was almost kept up, but it's a 12-8 lead for Davies.
Point Eagles side out. Caitlin Anderson checking back in. Anderson will serve.
Shanley cannot afford to retreat into a hole right now. They have to come out firing. Anderson serving. It's a long one. Huber kept it in play. Great save there by Vetter. Mickelson takes it. Set from Langley. Schumacher spikes. Huber is there for the dig. Set by Vetter, spike from Roberts. It's still going though. Langley was there. Set by Mickelson. Schumacher, she taps it over. Huber responds. Set from Vetter. The spike from Conwisher. Oh, what a dig! But it goes out of bounds. My goodness, Julia Vetter has practically been teleporting across the court.
She is all over the place, Jeff.
It's been crazy. She has been responsible for so many Deacon points staying alive. Roberts serve, it's a shorter one. Mickelson receives the quick set from Langley, and then the spike taken by Roberts. Dew puts it in the air. Dietz pushes over. Anderson receives, set by Langley, and that's tapped right there by Bergantine. And she gets the kill, 13-9. It's still 4 points for the Eagles. The Shanley defense looking tired right now. They got to try to stay on their toes. They got to try to stay low on the plays as well, because right now they're just not really in good position to try to respond to a lot of these nice spikes from Davies. Mopping up the floor real quick as we get ready to get back underway. The serve from Bergantine. Dew is right there. Vetter puts it up. Dietz spikes it, hits the net. She kept it up with an elbow, but then it went out of bounds. It is a 5-point lead now for Davies. Shanley in a bit of trouble. You have to wonder if they might take a timeout here soon.
That would be a good call, I believe, but we'll see.
Bergantine's serve kept up by Dew. The set from Vetter. The spike from Conwisher. Oh, a great dig. And they give the point to Davies. We'll wait to see what the call was.
Might have been a net violation by Conwisher there. Her arm might have nicked that net as she came down.
And here's the timeout from Coach Johnson. Well, the Deacons are down 15-9 right now as we take a look at some replays from game number 4. But Lucas, Shanley is finding themselves in an unfamiliar position tonight. What do they have to do to come out of this timeout and rattle off 6 straight, or at least just try to get back into this game?
Well, Jed, like you said, they're looking a little tired. And when you get tired, it is vitally important to do the little things right. You know, not focusing too much on the big plays, but doing the little things, getting in position, getting the ball in the air, setting it so that you can make a play. I think it'll be crucial for this Deacon defense to stay on their toes and be ready to receive some of these quick spikes from the Davies Eagles.
Bergantine back to serve. Bergantine serve, a low one taken by Erholtz, set by Vetter, and Dietz trying to get the kill. She will. Dietz with another fantastic kill, and it's 15-10 now, still in favor of Davies.
That's a good start for the Deacons coming out of that huddle there, looking to get on a little roll.
Riley Payne serving. Short ball, Mickelson gets there in time. Langley sets it, and then just a tap at the line, but a great save from Vetter. Dietz, though, tried to put some touch on that one. It just had too much behind it, 16-10. Byer comes in now for the Eagles once again. The sophomore has had a great game so far. Low ball from Byer. Roberts digs. Vetter keeps it up. Dietz, oh, a great ball. It was kept in play by Langley. Vetter sets it up. Berg pushes it over. Schumacher right there. Set by Langley, and the spike. Oh, a great point there for the Eagles. Caitlin Anderson. 17-10 now. It's a 7-point lead, and that is Davies' biggest of the night. Avery Byer again, long serve, heads up play from Taylor Erholtz. She let it fall out of bounds. Julia Vetter serving now, and this is going to be big. Deacons have to go on some kind of a run here to get back in game number 4. Julia Vetter, short serve taken by Mickelson. Set from Langley, the spike from Schumacher, kept up by Dew. Put in the air by Vetter, and then the spike from Dew. Great reception there by Mickelson. Oh, the Deacons unable to keep that going, though, as that ball was killed by Byer. Vetter just could not reach out to save it. Elise Schumacher back to serve. 7-point lead for the Eagles. Roberts receives. Vetter sets. Dew spikes, a good ball from Dew. Eagles got a piece at the net, but they couldn't get the whole thing, and it leads to a Deacon point. 6-point lead now for Davies. Huber serving. It is a 2-1 lead for Shanley. Huber's ball taken by Byer, set by Langley, and then just a tap from Langley. Erholtz couldn't get there.
Well-placed tap at that net, just enough to get over the defense and just short enough to keep it short of Taylor Erholtz.
Eagles approaching the 20-point threshold. Shanley going to try to do anything they can to stop them. Serve from Mickelson, taken by Roberts, set by Vetter, and then Berg on the spike. She gets it. 19-13 now. Deacons have done a good job getting the ball back, but they just cannot hold on to it. Taylor Erholtz looking to change that. Erholtz serve, a low one, received by Byer, the set from Langley, and then the spike from Schumacher. Erholtz right there, Vetter sets it up. The spike from Roberts is denied off the head of Conwisher, and it's now 20-13 in favor of Davies.
Eagles doing a nice job of not letting these Deacons get on a roll. Every time the Deacons have gotten the ball back, it hasn't been more than one serve.
Deacons having to wipe up the floor once again. Eagles serving. Langley's serve taken by Huber, set by Vetter. The spike from Conwisher is denied. Roberts kept it up. Vetter sets, spike from Roberts. Oh, it goes flying out of bounds. 20-14 now, Davies.
Sign out for the Deacons, serving number 17, Brooklyn Dew.
Dew back to serve. Dew's ball, an awkward reception, but it's kept going. Salekwa's ball taken by Huber, set up, and then the spike. Oh, what a kill from Conwisher.
Well placed right in the middle of that hole. Maybe this is the role the Shanley Deacons need.
And now the Deacons take a timeout.
I believe that was the Eagles.
The Eagles, okay, I was going to say. would have been a surprising move, but you can see what Davies is doing now, as this is the first time Shanley's been within 5 points in quite a while. But they're looking strong. They've had a couple of nice plays here, but now what do they have to do to keep this success going?
I think they have to focus on what they're doing right. It's the little things. You have to do the little things right. And now, coming out of this timeout, if they can do that, I believe they're going to have some real success.
Some great banner going on here between the student sections, and it has been a fun one here. Both teams brought a big crowd, and the student sections have just been battling all game long. I think that goes to show what kind of a rivalry this is, and especially the proximity between these two schools always makes for a big turnout.
Exactly. These are some of the best games to have, though, Joe, let me tell you.
Brooklyn Dew serving.
Brooklyn Dew serving now. Awaiting the whistle, and here we go. Dew gets set, getting ready to serve. All right, here we go. Dew's ball taken deep in Davies' territory. A great save. Salekwa sends it over. Huber keeps it up in the air. Vetter sets. Conwisher spikes. It's blocked. 21-15 Eagles.
Davies doing a nice job this game, getting in front of those spikes, but from the Deacons, I think that's 3 or 4 now.
The Eagles have just been fantastic blocking in this game number 4. They've just been all over the net, and Shanley just seems to have kind of dropped off a bit in that front court play. Roberts tried to change that, but another good reception there from Langley. She sends it over. Now Dew kept it up in the air, and it went into the Deacon bench. 22-15, 7-point lead for the Eagles. Deacons need something to change, and it's got to be something big. Serve from Anderson, taken by Huber, set from Vetter. Roberts spikes it, got too much on it, but it was tipped at the line. And Shanley makes it a 6-point game.
Important now with the ball back in their own hands, Jed, to be able to maybe start a little roll, get back into this game.
Katie Roberts back to serve, and she has struggled in her ball placement so far tonight. Mickelson receives, Langley sets, and then a miscommunication. Nobody knew who had it, and Bergantine just had to send it into the net. Katie Roberts continues to serve. Shorter ball, Mickelson is there. Set from Langley, and then here comes Schumacher with the tip. Dew kept it up in the air. Dietz trying to get the kill. Another good ball from Dietz. It heads into the stands. 22-18. It's a 4-point deficit.
This could be the run the Deacons are looking for. Starting to play their game now.
Got to try to keep it up, though. Still down 4. Roberts serve, taken by Mickelson. The set from Langley, and then Schumacher on the spike. It's blocked and then sent back over by the Deacons. Set from Langley, Schumacher gonna try it again. Roberts there to take it. Vetter sets it up. Dietz on the spike, too much on it. Point Eagles 23-18. They are 2 points away from forcing a 5th game.
This is gonna be incredibly important for the Deacons to get that ball back. Cannot afford to let up these 2 points.
The serve from Bergantine, Dew receives, Vetter sets, and then the spike from Conwisher. Oh, what a great place ball from Kylie Conwisher.
Mickelson back in for the Eagles.
Mickelson checks back in for the Eagles. 23-19, Shanley trails by 4 again, and it's Riley Payne in to serve. Serve from the freshman, a low one, a good dig from Anderson. The set from Langley, Schumacher sends it over. Good job by Roberts to keep it up. Dew sets, Berg spikes too much behind it. 24-19, it is game point.
Checking back in, Avery Byer. Byer will serve, and Byer serving, game point.
Byer serving, game point of game number 4. Her serve taken by Dew. Vetter sets it up. The spike from Berg. Oh, a great dig. at the line. Dietz kept it over. Roberts takes it for the Deacons. Dietz on the spike. Anderson right there. Langley sets. Here comes Anderson on the spike. Ehrholz keeps it going. Vetter puts it up in the air. Berg now trying to get it down. She cannot. Schumacher receives. Langley sets it. Beyer on the spike. Ehrholz there once again for the Deacons. Vetter sets it up. Berg on the spike. Mickelson is there. Now Langley puts it up once again. Schumacher gonna take it. Roberts right there. Vetter sets the spike from Dietz. The Deacons got the point.
Back within 4 now, and the ball is in their own hands. This will be an important possession here for the Deacons.
That's 10 kills now for Emily Dietz. The Deacons have been unable to keep this game within 4. Every time they get to a 4-point deficit, they seem to give up the point, and that's something that they are gonna have to change here. Deacons had to wipe up the floor quick, and now here comes Vetter on the serve. Shorter one, taken by Mickelson. The set, and then the spike from Terry. Put up by Vetter, the spike from Dew. Oh, the Deacons stay alive.
Great job by Katie Roberts, able to keep that one in play. That was coming right for her with some speed. Be able to get that one in play so Brooklyn Dew can take that spike. What a play.
And now it is a timeout taken by the Eagles. It's a 3-point lead still for them. It will be game point until the Deacons, if the Deacons can get to 24, then you have to win by 2. Deacons definitely going to feel the pressure now, as this Eagle timeout is going to make the server really kind of think about what she's got to do, and the whole team for that matter.
It'll be important for the Deacons to come out of this staying calm, focus on what they're doing right. I believe they've got it in them, looking a little tired towards the end of this game, but I believe they've got it in them to finish this one out.
All right, the Eagles come out of their huddle, so do the Deacons. 24-21, Julia Vetter back there serving.
Julia Vetter serving.
We get the whistle, and here we go. Vetter's serve, short one, taken by Anderson, set by Langley. Schumacher on the spike. Roberts puts it up. Trying to get there in time is Vetter. Roberts sends it over now for the Deacons. Received by Beyer, set from Langley. Schumacher on the spike. Roberts kept it going. Vetter sets it up now. It's going to be Berg who pokes it over, excuse me. Now the spike, Ehrholz keeps it going. Vetter sets it up, Dew spikes. A tremendous point for both sides. Langley puts it up in the air, the tap at the line. Deacons cannot keep it up, and we are headed to game number 5.
Game 4 by a score of 25-21.
My goodness, it just doesn't get any closer than this.
Deacons putting up a great fight, trying to fight back from a deficit, but like we've said, it is tough to do.
Well, and they found themselves in the position that Davies had the last few games, down big and then coming back in the waning points of the game just to have that comeback thrown away by the opposing team. So now we enter game number 5, where you only play up to 15 points. And Lucas, what do these two teams have to do to try to contend and take away the win here in game number 5?
Well, Jed, it's important for both teams. Whoever gets up fast and first is going to have some success. Fighting, there's not a whole lot of room to fight back from a deficit in a game that only goes to 15. We've seen both teams get out to hot starts, and I believe whoever does it first is going to take this game.
And, that's a really good point, Lucas. As we saw against Red River last week, it went to 5 games. Both teams were looking really evenly matched headed into that 5th game. And all of a sudden, Red River got off to a huge lead. And the Deacons, while they put up a very admirable effort, it was almost a great comeback. They just could not close the gap, and it is just so difficult in those short games. All right. Both teams switching sides now. And Lucas, how big are some of the mental mistakes we've seen in today's game? How much more magnified are they in that final set?
Absolutely, Jed. You have to tell your girls to keep it calm, do the little things right, because mental mistakes are just not something you can have. And again, in a game that only goes up to 15, it's very little room for error.
Both teams started off each having their own set of troubles in the first game and even to the second game, but I think we've seen both teams grow a lot throughout tonight's matchup. They've just really limited the mistakes. We've seen a lot less botched serves. We've seen a lot less miscommunications. They're just really upping their game and neither one backing down. And in this fifth set, we'll see which team can up their game the highest. Touching on homecoming week, as we mentioned earlier, we've got a great set of games, so be sure to join us next week as we celebrate Shanley's homecoming. We'll kick off the week's coverage on Tuesday, the 20th, with volleyball versus South at 7 p.m., an EDC matchup that should be a fun one to watch. Then on Thursday, the 22nd at 7, we'll have boys soccer versus West Fargo. Shanley is rolling right now on the back of Jake Reinhold's. West Fargo, though, has been a power in the state for the last few years. Another fun game. Finally, join us Friday the 23rd at 6 p.m., an earlier start there for the homecoming week football game as the Deacons take on the Grafton Spoilers. And that's a rivalry that's been a real fun one to watch since both those teams have joined the AA division. They've gone at it in the state championship game, in the playoffs, in the regular season, and now in homecoming week. I think that should be a real fun one.
I do believe anytime it's a homecoming game, it's just a great atmosphere. All the fans are riled up, ready to go, and I believe our football is going to come out ready for a win.
Should be a real fun week, yeah. Football should be fun, soccer, volleyball. Always just a big pleasure to cover homecoming week. For a list of all our upcoming broadcasts, though, go to ShanleyTV.com and click on the upcoming broadcast tab. There you can check out what we've got coming up in the next few weeks. All right, the fans are on their feet here entering game number 5. In what has been a matchup for the ages between two bitter rivals. Can't believe it's going to come to a close finally.
The fans in game 5 of the second game of the match goes to 15.
Still waiting to get things underway. Eagles mopping up some sweat on their side.
Davies will serve.
Both teams have definitely sweat a lot in a very intense game. All right, Kenzie Langley back there to serve for Davies. With the whistle and the serve, we are underway in game number 5. Dew receives, Vetter sets the quick poke from Conwisher, and the quick point for the Eagles.
Kenzie
1-0 lead for Davies. Kenzie Langley back there to serve again. Her ball taken by Huber, the set from Vetter, and then the spike from Roberts goes off of Mickelson and out of bounds.
What power there from Katie Roberts. Oh, man, that's been happening all game, too. Just powerful.
And McKenna Mickelson, fantastic libero, fantastic at receiving those spikes, and right there, she looked a little stunned from that one. Roberts' ball, it's a short one, taken there by Schumacher, a great kill there. Inbounds just barely, it was perfectly placed in the corner, 2-1 in favor of the Eagles.
Davies really utilizing that quick set technique there, kind of catching the Deacons off guard.
Eagles take a towel once again. Both sides have had to do a lot of mopping up so far in today's game. It's again, 2-1 lead right now. Eagles are looking strong here to start this one off. Shanley, of course, though, from that Roberts spike, not backing down at all themselves. Langley runs the towel off the court. And it's Caitlin Anderson back there to serve as we get set. All right, Anderson gets this one back underway, and it's out of bounds. A big point there as we are tied up again now. Michaela O'Leary checks in to serve. O'Leary's serve, a deep one taken by Mickelson, the set from Langley, and then the quick poke. Oh, a great job by Roberts to keep it up, and O'Leary puts it back in play. Dietz sends it over, Anderson is there, Langley sets. Oh, Bergantine.
That is a mistake I don't think you'll see again.
No.
That just does not happen.
You could hear our stunned silence there as Kylie Bergantine, just such a pro for the Eagles. You will just not see that happen. She kind of whiffed at the ball after a miscommunication between her and the setter. But we're back underway now as the Deacons hold the 3-2 lead. Vetter sets it up, Dietz spikes, and it's 4-2 Deacons.
Emily Dietz there again, taking a great opportunity, had all the Eagles sucked up towards the front of the net, able to get it behind that with that powerful spike. Great play by Emily Dietz.
4-2 lead for Shanley. O'Leary's serve, a shorter one. Oh, it's kept up. What a great play by Bergantine. Vetter sets, Berg spikes. Oh, the bullet from Sierra Berg.
That's that whole Shanley front line. And now causing Davies to take a timeout first.
What a chain of events.
I mean, great plays from Shanley Deacons.
We mentioned the fast start. It's something you have to have in a first to 15-point game, and that's exactly what Shanley's doing right now. As I mentioned earlier, they could not get off to a good start against Red River in that Game 5. That's really what ended up costing them. They right now look like they have learned from their mistakes. Eagles, though, of course, we've seen what they can do. This time out, they're going to take it to strategize, to calm down, and to make sure they know their game plan. Shanley cannot let up. They have to keep their foot on the gas throughout the rest of this game.
Exactly right, Jed. We've seen a couple mental mistakes from Davies that I just don't think we'll see again. But this timeout will definitely help them kind of collect themselves, calm down, and play the game.
It's O'Leary still in there serving. With the whistle, we get back underway, and O'Leary's serve too much on it. That timeout, it can really make you think as a server, and that time, O'Leary just pushed it too far. Kylie Bergantine back there to serve. Bergantine's ball taken by Erholtz. Set from Vetter, and then the tap from Dietz, but it goes out of bounds. 5-4 in favor of the Deacons. Bergantine continues serving. It's a short one. Oh, and it's into the net. O'Leary turned it over with the long one, but Bergantine there with the short one. And so it's 6-4 now in favor of Shanley. It's Julia Vetter serving now. Vetter's ball, oh, mishandled by Schumacher, but a great save. The Eagles keep it going. Erholtz puts it up to Vetter, and then the spike from Berg. Point Deacons. Salekwa with an admirable effort to keep it going, but the Deacons took advantage of the Eagles being out of place, and Sierra Berg clobbers the ball.
That front line doing what they know how to do best with the powerful spikes. Hit after hit, really looking good in this fifth game, Jed.
Eagles mopping up their side of the court. It's been one little trouble spot here throughout the last few games tonight. But now they get that squared away, and it's Julia Vetter serving. 7-4 lead for the Deacons. Whistle, and we're back underway. Vetter's ball taken by Schumacher, set by Langley, and then the spike from Salekwa into the net. 9-4, or 8-4 lead for the Deacons, rather.
There's those mental mistakes we talked about. Davies just cannot have those happen.
Vetter's serve, shorter this time. Schumacher takes it. Langley sets. Schumacher's right there. Erholtz receives. Vetter sets it up. Here comes Dew on the spike. Dew's ball goes out of bounds off Kenzie Langley. Now it's 9-4.
Another timeout taken by the Eagles. What a game so far by the Deacons.
You know, after that first time out from Davies, they got the ball back, and it looked like they might start to even things up, but then the Deacons take it right back due to a Bergantine serving error, and Julia Vetter has just run away with it. She's been serving the ball for the Deacons. They look just so strong right now. That front court, just crazy good.
Absolutely. That front line for the Deacons really stepping up, really showing what they've got. Really impressed.
Clock winding down on this timeout. The crowd really into this one. The student section still battling. The rivalry so evident. Both teams coming out of the huddles now. It's Vetter back there to serve again. Five-point lead for the Deacons. Vetter's serve, lower one, taken by Schumacher, set from Langley. Schumacher on the spike, Ehrholz is there, takes an awkward bounce, Roberts keeps it forward. Dew sends it over, oh, a great dive from Mickelson. It's then sent over by the Eagles, but I think they're calling them for a double hit.
Yeah.
10-4 now, Shanley 5 points away. They hold a 6-point lead. Vetter's ball this time shorter. She changes it up, but what a dive from Mickelson. Collision between the Deacons and the Eagles take advantage. It's 10-5.
That was a great serve by Julia Vetter. An even better return there from Mickelson. Just a little miscommunication, a little collision there by the Deacons. Hopefully they can get this ball back quick.
No matter who wins tonight, I think it's safe to say both teams left it all out on the court. Ehrholz receives, Vetter sets, Dietz spikes, and it falls on the Davies side, 11-5. Eagles really needed to take advantage of that turnover there, but Emily Dietz once again gets the kill. Hadley Huber comes in to serve. Huber's serve, right into the center of the Eagle D. The set from Langley, Schumacher punches it over. Roberts receives, Vetter sets, Berg spikes, it falls on the Eagle side, 12-5.
This looks like a whole new front line for the Deacons here, Jed. Just spike after spike, point after point.
They lost in 5 to Red River on their home court. They want redemption. They want to make these fans happy. Dew with the set, Roberts, oh, she went for the push, but she just didn't get enough behind it.
She has struggled with that tonight, Jed. I think that's the 3rd or 4th time that's happened. Maybe just work on that a little bit in practice. It's a great play, great use of that technique.
It's funny, she has had a couple of errors there shorting it, but when she's gotten a hold of that ball, there has been no lack of power.
Absolutely. (12-6) lead for the Deacons. Play back underway now. Schumacher to serve. She has been great for the Eagles tonight. The ball goes past Ehrholz, and a miscommunication between her and Huber leads to an Eagle point. Don't go counting Davies out. Down 5. They're looking to make a comeback. Schumacher's ball straight back to Huber. Vetter sets, Berg trying to get the kill. Good save from Mickelson. Set from Langley, goes straight back to Beyer. Right there is Vetter. Dew sets, Roberts pushes. Schumacher receives the set from Langley, the poke there from Terry. Deacons not fooled, they keep it going. Schumacher receives, Langley sets, spike from Beyer, and no one's there for the Deacons. Very well placed right in that hole between Julia Vetter and Taylor Ehrholz. Definitely do not count the Eagles out.
And now the Deacons take a timeout. The momentum has shifted once again. And you know, Lucas, if you're Shanley, what do you do now that you've started to give up some points really for the first time in this 5th game?
Well, Jed, I think it's important to remember that they have played very well this game. And I think it's going back to the basics, doing those things well. That front line has been very strong in this first game, so I think it's one, getting that ball back, getting it back in your control, and making some plays happen with that.
backcourt has had a little trouble here in the last few points. They've left some gaps open, and they need to maybe take this time out to try and shore those up. Obviously, as you said, the front court just kind of needs to keep doing what they're doing. All right, waiting for the whistle. It's Schumacher.
Serving for the Eagles.
Schumacher's serve goes straight back to Ehrholz. It's mishandled, but Berg, what a tremendous job keeping it going. Schumacher right there for the Eagles. The set from Langley, the spike from Langley, and it's out of bounds. Point, Deacons.
That's vital for the Deacons there. Get that ball back. They are 2 points away from taking this game.
13-8 Deacons, and yes, just 2 points. But the Eagles are going to try to make those the toughest 2 points for Shanley ever. Ehrholz's ball goes off of Schumacher. A great job keeping it in. Can Schumacher get it over? She will.
What?
Oh, it's stuck up in the rafters.
That ball is stuck on the vent.
I have no idea what they do in this situation.
I believe Shanley gets a point saying it's out of bounds, but ladies and gentlemen, that ball is stuck in the vent.
Well, it's game point, and Ehrholz is serving. Low ball, taken right in the middle of the Eagle D. It's pushed over by Terry. Right there is Huber. Vetter set, spike from Dew. It's still up in the air. The Eagles keep it going. Here comes Langley. She pokes it over. Vetter right there. Dew sets it up. Here comes Roberts, the spike. Still going. Schumacher is there. Langley pushes. Huber responds. Vetter sets it up. Conwisher pushes, but Langley sets. Mickelson there. Here comes Langley on the spike. It's blocked. Falls onto the Davies side. Still going. Mickelson puts it up in the air. Langley spikes. Roberts responds. Conwisher keeps it going. Dew sends it over. The Eagles trying to keep it up. It's still in the air. Oh my gosh. Vetter has it in the air. Now Dew sets. Roberts spikes. Mickelson keeps it. Ball still in the air. Langley sets. Byer sets it over. It's out.
It's out.
It's over. The Deacons win it in 5.
What a point for both. I mean, great effort from both teams. Crazy finish to this game.
We got a ball in the rafters. We got a 5-set victory. Everything's happening down there.
We thought the last game was close, too. Holy cow.
Yeah. Both teams absolutely playing their hearts out tonight. In the end, the Deacons come away with their first home win of the year. And Lucas, tell us, what does this game mean for these two teams going forward?
Well, for the Deacons, Jed, I don't think I have to say it, it's huge. To be able to carry this momentum, their first win at home, that's something to hang your hat on there. For the Davies Eagles, they played a great game, battling every step of the way, forcing the Deacons to play some of their best volleyball they've had all season.
In the end, yes, as you said it, Shanley forced to play great, and they do step up. These two teams, though, do not be surprised at all if they meet in the postseason. A tremendous game. In the end, though, the Deacons come away with the win. For Lucas Johnson and our entire crew, I'm Jed Thomas. Your final score from McCormick Gymnasium. Shanley Deacons take it 3-2 over the Davies Eagles. To watch the archived version of this entire game and our other broadcasts, go to shanleytv.com. The proceeding has been a presentation of Shanley TV.